everyone, this is Solomon of Solomonic Demons, and today we're going to be reviewing the Marshall DSL1. Now, the Marshall DSL1 is a full tube guitar amplifier with only 1 watt. This amplifier has 2 preamp tubes in the preamp section, 2 12AX7 tubes to be more specific, and in the power section it only has 1 tube, a 12AU7 tube. So yeah, it is only 1 watt, but don't take me wrong, even if this thing is only 1 watt, it is very loud. Now, in the past, I owned the original Marshall JCM 2000, the DSL100, and to be honest, that was my dream amplifier. I wanted to have one for a while, and finally when I had it, I played a lot, but I played that amplifier only at home. And now, in the past years, I've been trying to reduce my amplifier collection, and every time that I buy an amplifier, I prefer that the amplifier, it is 50 watts or less, or if it is a 100 watts amplifier, at least I'm looking for an amplifier that is able to cut the wattage to half or a quarter of the 100 watts. Now, I was skeptic about the 1 watts version. I thought that was more like a toy, but honestly, I was wrong. Now, I'm gonna talk more about this at the end of this video, but this thing is not a toy, and it comes back with a lot of features. So what you guys hear on the mix was my Fender American Performer Stratocaster, and obviously for the intro only. In the high gain section I was using my Agile Pendulum 7, but for check all the tones that the amplifier have, we're gonna use my Fender Stratocaster. And yeah, the guitars were connected straight to an overdrive. Now, the overdrive was off when I was playing the clean part, but when I was playing the high gain, the overdrive was switched, and this overdrive is my MXR classic overdrive. Now, the overdrive was boosting the amplifier, like I said, in the high gain sections, and the overdrive was connected straight to the amplifier. On the effect loop of the amplifier, I had my ISP impression for effects. Now, the amplifier was connected straight to my Bugera PS1, and the Bugera PS1 was connected to my interface, so I wasn't using any real cabinets. I actually was using a Yars from Torpedo Wall of Sound as cabinet. So yeah, let's check out a couple of tones, like I said, and at the end of the video, I'm gonna give you guys my conclusion about the Marshall DSL1. Alright guys, so we are in the clean channel of the Marshall DSL1, and right now all the knobs on the amplifier are on the middle except the reverb. The reverb is all the way down. Talking about knobs, sometimes amplifiers that are 5 watts or less come only with a tone knob. An example of this is my Randall Diablo. This one only have a tone knob, but as you guys can see, in the Marshall DSL1 that is only 1 watt, come with a full EQ. That's very nice. Also, this EQ includes that tone shift, the tone shift switch. This switch is very important because this one also comes in the bigger amplifiers, and it makes a really big difference in tone when you engage this switch. So it's very cool that they include this switch on this amplifier. The biggest difference between this amplifier and the bigger versions, especially the DSL100 or, like I said, the original JCM 2000, it is that when you go to the ultra gain section and the classic gain section, you only get one of the modes for each channel. I'm saying this because the bigger versions actually have 2 different modes per channel. In this one, in the classic gain, actually we only get 1 knob. This knob, it is volume that controls, that shares the gain and the volume of the amplifier in the classic gain mode. And the more you increase the knob, the more you can feel that the amplifier gets a little bit of breakup. So it's not really a true clean amplifier when it is on the classic gain mode. The difference with the bigger version is that the bigger version comes with a gain knob and an independent volume. And also you go from clean to crunch mode with a switch that this amplifier do not have. So yeah, enough talking. Like I said, this guitar is on E standard. Now guys, yesterday I cut my finger, my middle finger, and I have a little bit of trouble when I'm trying to play the guitar right now, because it was a very deep cut with a piece of glass. But yeah, if you guys can feel that my playing feels a little bit weak, it's because I'm having a little bit of issues when I'm playing. But yeah, like I said, enough talking, and we're gonna start with the classic gain. Like I said, all the knobs right now are on the middle, and this is how it sounds. now we're gonna check how it sounds when we put some reverb on it. We're gonna put it on the middle. Alright, and now we're gonna see what the tone shift does, right? We're gonna engage it. Alright, but we're gonna try to EQ the amplifier because we don't see any much difference when the knobs of the EQ are on the middle, and this is how we're gonna go when we are on the classic gain channel, right? Now, as you guys can hear, the amplifier have a little bit of breakup, but that's because the volume knob is in the middle. If you guys want a cleaner sound, you gotta cut the volume knob of the amp. Now, usually when you put it all the way to 9 AM, the amplifier sounds already on full power, but it's clean. The more that you go up, it starts getting a little bit of breakup, but there is not too much difference in terms of the volume. So this will be the cleanest we can get with a decent volume on the amp, right? And before I play it, we're gonna put a little bit more of reverb, so we can check how it sounds when it is clean with a little bit of effects, and obviously the effect that should be the reverb of the amplifier, right? And this is how it sounds that way, okay? Alright, very clean, definitely, right? Sounds very cool. And now we're gonna check how it sounds actually when we increase the gain, when we pass that midday on the volume knob. Immediately break up, immediately the amplifier turns a gaining Marshall on a classic gain mode, plexi style, right? If we engage the tone shift, we get that gets very scoop on the mids and the bass of the amp. So these will sound better maybe if you want to play a little bit more Metallica kind of style when you go to the ultra gain mode, right? And talking about the ultra gain mode, that's where we're going right now. We already checked the features of the classic gain, and this is how it will sound. I'm gonna remove the reverb and I'm gonna tweak my EQ for that channel. Same thing with the tone shift. We're gonna put it back as normal. We're gonna leave the volume and the gain of the ultra gain on the middle, and this is how it sounds when we are in the ultra gain. And obviously we're gonna go to the bridge pickup. Now we're gonna engage that tone shift to see the difference. Alright, now, next step, we're gonna see how it sounds when we go less gain. Definitely this is more like the ultra gain channel of the bigger brother, but when it is on the lead 2 stage, right? And then we're gonna go with the gain almost all. We're gonna remove that tone shift knob. Alright, sounds very cool, but we're gonna put the gain all the way up just to see how it sounds. Put the gain all the way up. I don't wanna touch the volume knob. I do prefer when the tone shift knob is not engaged. The same thing when I used to have the bigger Marshall. But if you want to play something more, it gets more scoop when it is engaged. Let's remove it, and at the end, let's put some reverb on that ultra gain channel, and I'm gonna put a little bit of chorus. And this is how it sounds when you're trying to get that 80s metal. Very cool, and the last part, we're gonna boost it with my classic overdrive from MXR, like I said, to see how it sounds with distortion, right? We see how it sounds when it's boosted. We're gonna leave the settings the same. The only difference is that I'm gonna cut the reverb again, and I'm gonna remove that chorus, and then we're gonna engage them again to see how it sounds. that will be with the gain all the way up, but if we put the gain again all the way to 9 AM, alright, and that's how actually I used the amplifier when I was recording the intro, but with 7 strings, obviously you're gonna get a little bit more of a grindy, gainy sound. So yeah, that was the Marshall DSL1 on the ultra gain stage when it is boosted with an overdrive in front of it. So, alright guys, so hopefully you guys like how the amplifier sound. All the tones sound very cool, or at least for me. Now, as you guys were able to see, we don't really have a true clean channel, and that will be the biggest difference for me, because if we compare this amplifier to the Marshall JCM 2000, the original DSL that I used to own, the 100 watts like I said, because that amplifier have also 2 stages in each channel, and especially in the classic gain, when that switch was off, the amplifier was very clean. It was a little bit less louder, but that channel was totally clean. So with this one, if you try to play the amplifier with EMG pickups or high output pickups, it doesn't gonna sound that clean, or at least it gonna have a breakup. But like I said, if you play it with a Stratocaster like I did, you're gonna have a great clean sound. So yeah, now about the high gain section of the amplifier. By itself, the amplifier can give you a metal tone, but even with my original Marshall JCM 2000, the original DSL, like I said, I used to boost that amplifier. That's the way that I like to play it. And yeah, I really like how the amplifier sounds. It's unbelievable that this thing is only 1 watt, but it has a lot of options. You get the effects loop, you get that emulated output that at some point I'm planning to record to show you guys how it sounds. The amplifier comes with a foot switch, so that's another plus. Now the only advantage that I will say that the amplifier has is that the output of the amplifier, it is 16 ohms. So yeah, I think that the Marshall DSL1, it is a great amplifier, and it is the perfect amplifier for a studio. If you are looking for a Marshall tone, this thing definitely does the job, and it does it right. So this was Solomon Demons. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please share, like, and subscribe. Take care and bye.